Welcome back to another edition of Fly Tying for Beginners with Jim Misiura. Today we're going to tie a emerging Caddis Pupa. The hook that I have in the vise, I'm going to tie this on a larger hook. This is the Lively Leg Lip Splitter, number 470, size 12. You could tie these down to 18s on these hooks, or smaller if you want. I don't want. But this is a Scud shrimp nymph hook, one extra strong and one extra short, and these are bronzed. And you'll notice this hook is offset. The point is offset, and that gives you more gripping or more hooking area. And the smaller they are, the more offset it is. I'm also going to use, we're just going to use an olive color, an olive dubbing color. You could use an Antron or just a rabbit. And I'm also going to use my black rabbit Krystal dub, which is here. And we're going to use a partridge feather. We're also going to use Raffia, and this Raffia is actually, this is like Swiss straw, it's Raffia, but I got this from this is from a hula skirt, costume hula skirt. You can get them at Party City. They're like 3 foot long, and I think they're about $10 or less, but if you get one of them from Party City, you could divide it with a couple of your buddies and still have plenty for your lifetime. They have a good color selection also over there. They have tan, they have a really nice drab olive one, they have white, different colors. We're also going to use a pheasant tail feather, and this is the soft stuff, either a hen or the soft side of your center, pheasant tail center. And I'm using this olive gray thread, but I'm going to use my Sharpie and make the head black. I'm using this because of the size of the thread, and this is about a 16/0. We're going to get started here. We're going to start behind the eye, and we're going to bring the thread back. And we're going to come slightly around the bend there. I'm going to turn my vise upside down so I can dub. Now you could go ahead and tie in here. I'm going to go ahead and do it. I'm going to just got some brown. This is just brown sewing thread right here. It's really thick. And I'm going to take a piece of that, and I'm going to use that for a rib. So it makes a nice rib on there. I'm going to go ahead and take that and tie that in. There's the end. Yep, let me grab the end of it there. There we go. Go ahead and tie that in. And we're going to just put that in our material clip. Just wrap that down there a little bit. There we go. Now I'm going to turn that sideways or upside down. And I'm going to take some dark olive dubbing. And this, I actually mixed SLF with the rabbit hair. This is dark SLF dubbing, and that is synthetic living fibers. Then we're going to go ahead and put some wax on there. Put a little moisture on my fingers. Get ourselves a noodle. Probably going to need a little more. Yeah, that wasn't quite much. I got to dig it out. So we're going to go ahead and wrap this. Yeah, that might be enough. But you can actually make your taper with your dubbing. I do need a little bit more. And I got to dig it out. I use my easy plier to get that out of there. There we go. Put a little bit more wax on there. And we'll go ahead and wrap this the rest of the way. You want the body to be about 3/4 the length of the hook. There we go. Now I'm going to take my rib and then I'm going to wrap that nice and tight. You'll see it go down into it. There we go. Nice rib there. Fold that thread back and put it on top. And remove that excess. Now I'm going to take my raffia, and I have this down to it's either 1 or 2 ply. I'm going to take this, I'm going to put a little bit more of a cut on the end there. A little sharper cut on the wing. There we go, and I'm going to leave that go past the body slightly with that sharp cut. Hold it in place. Get it a loose loop. And we want that going towards the bottom. Yeah, I can tighten that up a little bit. And I'm going to trim this. Now you could take this and fold it over. Actually, I'll do that now. Just take that and fold that over to the other side. And you have to make sure that you get a nice, correct cut on it. There we go. And there we have it on the both sides. And remember, it kind of looks like it's going under, but with that offset point, it's there we go. Still right. Now I'm going to take just a little pinch, just a couple strands of this GSS olive. Oop, and it fell. Got a little moisture on my fingers there. There we go. Really skinny noodle here. We don't want to bulk it up too much. And this will help give it that air bubble appearance, and the wings itself kind of helps it give it that air bubble appearance. There we go. Now I'm going to take my partridge feather, and you can see I have the fluff pulled back, and I'm going to pull that fluff off. Get rid of that. Now I'm going to grab it by the tip, and I'm going to pull about half of that back. And I'm going to cut the V out of it, meaning pull it back and cut the tip out. And now we have the V. So we can take our V and we can place it right on top, just like this. And we're going to pull that V, the materials, down to the sides. And we're going to tie them in. And I got a couple of them popping out top. Not a big deal. Now with that V, you can, actually pull it to the size, but this is a good size right here. I'm going to go ahead and trim this off. I'm going to take those ones off the top that popped up. And trim off that stem. Get that nice and close in there, so I don't block the eye. Could go ahead and give that a couple cleaning wraps. Yep, got a couple more there. Two barbels sticking up. There we go. Now we're going to take our pheasant tail and we're going to take two of these and we're going to make the horns. And this is an optional, totally optional on this point. We're going to take two and we're going to divide them. There we go. And we're going to put them one on each side, but one on each side but towards the top of the fly, because they're supposed to be coming out the head. We want them to be about twice the length of the hook shank. Okay, get them one on each side, and we'll tie them in. Whoop, and that didn't quite make it. We'll undo that. Yeah, we'll try that again. There we go. Keeping them one on each side. And I'm going to pull them to length. There we go. Then I can tighten them up. I'm going to go back on them just a little bit, just to keep them from pointing straight up. Get them out of the way while I trim off that excess. And then our final step, we're going to take a little bit of that black crystal dub. Just a small amount there. Make a skinny noodle. I'm going to hold everything in place. Clean up that head. Now I'm going to use my Sharpie to color my thread black. And then I can wrap that head. Take our whip finish, put the hook over the thread, around the camel hump, and then bring it back. There's our X. Pull that X down to the hook shank and give it 3 to 6 wraps there, and that is plenty. We'll tighten that up. Take your poke and snip cuticle trimmer, and I got a couple of them sticking out front there. I'm going to touch it with the lighter. Make sure whenever you use the lighter, make sure that you put anything you don't want burnt under your finger. And here we have a Caddis Pupa. Hope that you learned something from this video. Hope that you would subscribe to my channel. Please refer me to your friends. Please visit my sponsors. Leave comments, questions, suggestions. If you'd like to purchase any flies that I make, go to etsy.com/shop/theflymanjim. And if you don't see it, just send me a message and we'll figure it out. And most of all, thank you very much for watching my videos.